Welcome to MarketTamer.com. It is Tuesday, August 11th. You're looking at a chart of the S&P 500, and as always, nothing that we say here constitutes a recommendation to buy or sell any given security, and please do contact your financial advisors. Looking at the S&P 500 right now, we're seeing a crossover below the 5-day moving average. As we've noted in the past, that is a big warning sign. In fact, we might look to a sell signal materialize later today. If this holds up through to the close, the 5-day is starting to point down. Obviously, with our trend lines, we note that the short-term moving average pointing down is a short-term negative. We still have the 20-day and the 50-day pointing up, so longer term the trends are still bullish, but short-term we might be looking at a correction here. That is also vindicated if we take a look at the dollar chart here. So just note that the dollar has actually gone above its 5-day moving average. We've seen strength 3 days in a row. As we've mentioned many times in the past, when we see dollar strength, we often see market weakness accompanying it, and vice versa. If we look at one of the interesting financials, we can see that Goldman Sachs actually appeared to reach its peak about 4 days ago. We had a perfect crossover here. We hit the 20-day. That's often one of our target lines when we're looking to take some profits. And we've seen a slight bounce up to the 5-day. We've seen a rejection there. So everything is working as we would expect. And finally, take a look at the SSO. Probably one of the questions in your mind is how to take advantage of any tradable positions here. And certainly this is one that I'm looking at right now through to the close, the SSO. One of the reasons I like to look at it is because it's a representation of the Ultra S&P fund. So essentially moves in the S&P are exaggerated in the SSO, and that often leads to greater percentage moves. For example, we note there's a percentage move about 2% here in the SSO today, whereas we're seeing about half that so far in the S&P 500. That being the case, we can often get profits more quickly when we're correct. The flip side of that is obviously if we're incorrect, we see losses more quickly. So from the perspective of the speculator in the short term, if we see this continue through to the end of the day, and we have been seeing the bearish trend gathering steam throughout the morning. In fact, we didn't start that bearish, but we kept going increasingly bearish throughout the day. Now we're only open just over an hour and a half, up to 2 hours, closing in on 2 hours into the trading day. So the early action is certainly bearish, but there's a long way to go before the close, and there's every possibility we could reverse. So again, the last hour of the trading day will prove to be the important hour of the trading day, and if there are trades to be made, that will be the time. If this trend continues in place, I anticipate taking a slightly bearish position here. Nothing too advanced, potentially in the order of something like long puts to take advantage of a correction. If it occurs, great. If it doesn't, so be it. That's the nature of a short-term speculation. This is not investing. As always, if you're looking to invest or take any position in the market, we encourage you to contact your financial advisors. My own personal position here is to take advantage of both speculative opportunities and investments, and this may prove to be one. Now, the danger of trying to get in early on a trend is often that the sell signals are canceled, and note that this was in fact the case a few days ago. I noted that we crossed bearish on the NASDAQ. Now, the day after that, we actually got a cancellation of that reversal, and today we've actually seen that sell signal materialize again. So sometimes the market will do that, and that's okay. We recognize that we're never going to be perfect all the time. What we care about is when signals are generated, we like to trade on them and take advantage of longer term trends, such as this uptrend, downtrends in the past we've spoken about also. And often the thing to do is ask yourself when you're trading, is this the easy trade or the hard trade? Often the easy trades are the ones you don't want to be placing. The hard trades are the ones that lead to the greatest profit potential. With that said, if you have any questions, we look forward to seeing you at MarketTamer.com.